Today we're adjusting Mad's carburetor, doing a little bit of tuning. She's almost at 100%. We just got a little ways to go, a couple of little bugs to work out, but other than that, she's doing great. So thanks for stopping by the shop. Why don't you come on in, settle down, and check it out. Let's get after it. Well guys, we made it back from the car show this weekend. Got Mom's Mad back in the shop. Everything went well, as you saw. It was a good day, good weather. A little chilly in the morning, but it was turned out beautiful, just like today is. And we're getting a lot of that old gas rammed through the tank. Like I said, I've done 2 different fill-ups at 6 gallons a piece. Over top the old gas tank, we've never ran it completely down, so it's just thinning out crud. And she's running better and better, and now the carb needs adjusting. Really ran good, but the tip in from cruising or when you let off and then get back into the pedal has a stumble or hesitation. And on these Edelbrocks, well, you can't see it there, I don't know why I'm pointing at an air cleaner. These Edelbrocks, there's some springs where the needle goes into the jet, and there's like a piston that gets sucked down and closes that jet off, and then as you accelerate or tip in, it's supposed to pop that piston up, allowing gas in. I did adjust the accelerator pump. I think I'm going to put it back to middle, because that did help briefly while the gas was cruddy. Now that I've got another half a tank of gas in there and things are cleaning out and the gas is getting better and better, it's back and it's worse than it was before I adjusted it, which tells me that we're getting a lot of air and no gas. We're using the accelerator pump to make that smooth transition instead of actually the needles popping up. So I've got a spring kit. That's what we're going to do today. I am going to pop that out. I'll show you what that's about. And I think we may have done this in another video, not sure, but that's what I'm doing today. And then we'll take our first spin and make sure everything's copacetic and go from there. All right, thanks for stopping by, guys. Let's get back after it. Under these little caps here is all the gas splatter up in there. A little bit of gas on that ring. All I do is loosen these up and then turn these little windows and turn them far enough that can pop up. Feels like something's stuck in there. That's part of it. These are supposed to be, this is on the spring, and when the motor's not running, it's up. That one is not moving. She is bound in there. I'm just gonna have to peel that up and see what that's about. There's something going on there. I'll get a pick. There's my little tray. So let's do it. Well, that's what that looks like in there. I don't know. Let's see if you can see it here. This is the needle. It goes up and down in this And the jet, when it's down, it plugs the jet. As it raises up, it's tapered, lets more and more and more fuel in until it's open. Okay. I don't know why that was stuck down in there. These were, I made a mistake. A couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, I'd never been into an Edelbrock before, and I had this one apart, and I didn't take these out first. I didn't realize how they came out to be adjusted. I was learning, and I took it apart. It had been sitting on my shelf for years, and I took it apart to clean it because it didn't run worth a crap on the vehicle I stuck it on, because I figured, well, okay, it's all dried up old nasty gas in there, and sure enough it was. But I'd never had one of these apart. When I went to put it back together, I fed these down in, and little did I know that if you get it off a little cockeyed, you'd bend them. And I did. It bent them. Both. So later on in life, when I got this kit, I matched them up as best I could. And lo and behold, this little 500 Edelbrock has completely different everything except for the springs. So you can't run the fatter needles. They're not much fatter, but they're a little longer. The taper's different. And when I switched everything back to these, the car ran better. But I straightened these out and put them back in. So maybe that's the problem. I need to get this on something more truly flat and see. Oh yeah, I can feel it. That's pretty close. Let's go feel it. That feels a lot better. Okay. Trust that. That could be why some of the gas is floating up. Lean on the one side. Then I got this cheap kit. Same number as the Edelbrock one. For the bigger ones, but all the springs are the same, so that's the one thing I can use. So this comes with, I looked this up ahead of time, comes with an orange, which is a 5 vacuum, what they call it. I need to go one stronger. We'll try that. They say go the strongest and then work your way backwards. I think I'm just going to go one up and see if it gets better. Then I know I can. I mean, this is, you saw how easy this is. It's an easy change. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 3 4. So I can tell by the dirtiness, but that's the same as that one, so I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to take these two out because I need both. This just drops in that side. Goes up in the hole of the barrel. Needle goes on that side. Make sure it goes in the hole of the barrel. And then you turn that, and that holds it. I'm going to take that one out. They're half showing. You can still see it bounce. And then when we start it, we can see them moving. We need to warm it up, but should be 2 hits. She starts so good. That one's sticking. Might have been part of the problem. Runs lean. I can get it sucked down. Seems better already.
A few moments later.
This other door here, so we don't get choked out. So, kind of a cool thing with being around all these other garages and whatnot here. The guys know I work on my own stuff, and that sometimes I have extra parts or whatnot. And what's up, dude? There we go. Neighbors working together. Just letting me know they're dropping something in front of my door, so just that ain't gonna be there very long. Not a big deal. I ain't going nowhere today, right away. So, what I was saying though, they know I work on some stuff, and I keep extra parts around. They work on hot rods, and usually it's a bunch of guys that own hot rods, but they don't work on their own. Bring their stuff to him. So, guy came in, Edelbrock carb on it, and was leaking. And they, you know, the guy's like, I don't, you know, it's been on here like 5 or 6 years, and probably needs a rebuild. And with their labor and the kit, the rebuild would be like 50 bucks cheaper than buying new. And the guy said, just put a new one on. If that's the case, just put a new one on. And they did. And he didn't want anything to do with the old one. So they came over and gave it to me. That's a 600 Edelbrock. So if this end 500 ends up not being quite enough for that motor, I now have a 600 to put on it. I went through it, I took it apart, all the gaskets were fine, it was clean as a whistle on the inside, except for in 2 spots where the fuel comes in, and it comes in to both bowls. One bowl, I blew some air in there, and like rat fur came out is what it looked like, but it wasn't. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't, but something had gotten in there and plugged up that corner of the carburetor. So everything else looks good. I cleaned that out, and it had a little sediment in the bottom from that thing deteriorating and coming into the bowl that was plugging everything up. Cleaned it all up, put it back together. We're gonna run that if we have to. Basically, as you can see, I cleaned it all up. And yeah, the fuel comes in here, and when it got to this side, it had a big ball of something nasty in it, and it was causing pressure to build up and then leaking through here. Is basically what was happening. So got that all cleaned up, cleaned out everything on the inside. She looks good. I mean, nothing to those Edelbrocks. Wasn't leaking through the gasket or nothing. It was just pissing because of being plugged. Kind of like mine was just doing because it was being plugged by the needle being stuck down. So, not to get off track, but you also know when you're starting to run better fuel, and the carbs are starting to run better, because I had this set at 650 RPM and it's at 1100 now. So it's slowly climbing, which means it's getting better fuel, running better. Timing light on that a little later and see where we're at for RPMs. I just know I couldn't idle. It was picking up speed and driving about 12 miles an hour if I just took my foot off the brake and let it idle up to speed. So that's about 1100 RPMs probably. My finely tuned micrometer ear sounds like about 700. Putting a timing light on this is a pain in the ass to burn your arm, because you have to get to the #1 spark plug wire, which is down under the manifold, and you have to go under the alternator. And now that it's running, that alternator is going to be hot, and it's finally healed. You can see that pink spot on my arm. That was from the last time I put the timing light on here. Blistered it. Yeah, much gooder. All right, I'll come back when we got things figured out. Well, sorry guys, I didn't get to take you with on the test drive. The dang battery on the GoPro died as soon as I got it out there. Everything went okay. It was a decent little drive. It still has a little bit of a tip-in issue. And when I got back, I wanted to try hot starting. When I got back, I wanted to try hot starting it, which means, you know, up to full temperature. And she starts really hard, hot. So I'm thinking I've got a problem next. And that might be part of the tip-in because pulled it out, take off. Everything seems wonderful. Drive down the road a ways, a little bit, come back, and it started showing up again. And then I pull back into the driveway here to shut it off, go to turn it back on, a little bit of a hard start. It starts, but you got to give it like a quarter of a throttle and wait for it to catch up. And I'm thinking, and these Edelbrocks are kind of notorious for it, we're having a little fuel percolation, which is basically that manifold is getting hot, which they do, and there's nothing but that thin gasket between the manifold and the Edelbrock, and it tends to boil the fuel. And when you do that, your floats don't sit right, and you get more of a vapor than you do liquid fuel. It's percolating, it's boiling. So they make an adapter plate that takes the heat out, protects it from the heat. I'm gonna have to go look around and see if I can find one of those. I'm thinking that's what I've narrowed it down to because it drives so stinking good. You start it up, you warm it up. It's not hot yet, but you've got it warmed up. It's been running for a couple of minutes, and then you take off. She drives like a dream. She really does. And yeah, I'm thinking I just need to spend the money on that spacer plate to help to cut down on the heat, and we'll go from there. Done everything else, and it is what it is. So we got her back in the shop. We got no car shows to go to this week. Going to be going to sick week. Today's Monday. This video is going to come out on Tuesday. And we're going to sick week on Wednesday. So look for that video. I am going to post that as soon as I can get it edited up. I am hoping to get a bunch of footage of some really cool people. And people I've been meaning to, that I've really wanted to see in person. And so I want to see their cars go in person more than anything. I'm not a fanboy. Yes, I like to shake hands with those people and say, hi, nice to meet you. But that's about it. I do want to get footage of Alex Taylor's 55 Chevy because that thing is, I want to see in real life how fast it is. Again, you're going to see it through the camera, so you get to see it the way I've seen it a million times. It looks fast, but in person, they're usually just way more faster than you expect. And I want to see Mike Finnegan's 55. Blasphemy is supposed to be there. It'd be cool to see that. I've seen that once before on the Power Tour when he first got it together. I didn't get to spend any much time around it or look it over because we were at a gas station at the same time as all we had. Talked to him, nice guys, him and Freiberger. But yeah, and there's a bunch of other people there. I want to see their rides in person, go down the track. So should be fun. They're only there the one day, I guess, which is Wednesday the 29th. So we'll be there. Gonna check it out, see how it's going. We'll talk to you after we get back from that. Thanks for stopping by, guys. And if you like this kind of content and you want to see more stuff on Mosmad, more stuff on the Dragon Wagon, and the 64 C10 we're going to be working on, and the 49 Style Line, which it's been really cold and wet around here, and I can't work on it outside with that kind of weather. So this week's supposed to be nicer. Got a busy week ahead. Next week, we're going to get that all buttoned up. Maybe next week. Hopefully this week, get to work on it a little bit. So, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps me out. Helps the algorithm out. Comment down below. Make a comment about anything down below. The comments help the algorithm say, hey, people are interested enough to actually talk. So, appreciate you guys. Don't forget, don't wait for your hot rod to be perfect to enjoy it. Do a little something. Remind yourself why you like it. Drive it around. Get it back in the shop. Do the next step. All right. Till next time, guys. Keep wrenching.